I want to talk about my interprofessional experience with Liberty University. I had a great opportunity to volunteer with Child and Youth Services in North Carolina. There, I was an assistant coach for youth sports and soccer. My team consisted of a head coach, a youth sports director, assistant sports director, referees, parents, and 7 to 8-year-olds, 15 of them. When I was looking at this from a public health perspective, 3 public health concepts I thought I was going to look at: head injuries, obesity, and nutrition. Obesity. Youth sports, I'm a firm believer, increases activity in children. In fact, Healthy People 2020 states that obesity is a huge issue in children today and that sports helps combat the injuries by teaching them how to increase their activity level and having a great time. We did this by running, and more running, and some technical skills along the way. Injury prevention. The referees did an amazing job walking the field and making sure there was no potholes along the way, and also making sure no head injuries occurred. Soccer has a ton of head injuries and concussions. That is something you have to look at. That is something the head coach and youth sports director taught me, to make sure no 8-year-olds head the ball, and that if they do, you need to stop the field of the game to make sure head injuries don't occur in young children. The referees did an amazing job with that throughout the games that I supervised, and the head coach did a great job during practices. Nutrition. Let's talk about snack time. Oh, wow. Totally different than back in the day where there was water and orange slices. Now there's brownies, cookies, Rice Krispie treats, chips, and fruit juices. That is something we definitely need to work on. I definitely noticed the nutritional value of the snacks that were provided, or unnutritional value. When I asked the head coach and the sports director about this, they said, it's fine, they're just kids. Let the parents be there. And you know what? And they also talked about the mental health of the child, because mental health is actually a huge issue when playing youth sports. That is something I didn't think I would encounter, and that's part of the amazing aspect of being in an interprofessional study, is learning from others and what occurs and doesn't occur on and off the field. So yes, I might have been a hard person for nutrition, and I thought the children should have healthy snacks. And yes, I will probably be a proponent of making sure people know the resources for nutritional activities, especially after a game. But let's talk about mental health. This is where I learned the most. So they talked about the parents being there and not neglecting children. That's a mental health concept. They also talked about, as a youth sports director, you don't know what the children are going through. There are so many different walks of life with 15 different 7 and 8-year-olds on your team. It's really your job to be there for them, listen to them, care for them, and make sure they have a great time. The reason I said this, because there was a very hard lesson that I learned. We had a 7-year-old on our team whose father tried to commit suicide not that long ago. Lucky for him and his family, he was able to get the help he needed and admitted himself into the hospital to ensure it doesn't occur in the future. So, what is our role in that as a youth sports coach? It's to be there for the child and to love on them unconditionally, because you never know where they're going through. You never know what their background is, where they're coming from, and how they're going to act. So your job is to be there for them in the most difficult time in their life. Can you imagine a 7-year-old going through that? I certainly can't. But being there, I learned from the youth coaches, the head coaches, and everyone around me to love unconditionally. And that mental health is a serious issue. The one thing I learned from them is to know your resources, know where the families could get help, not just the person that's suffering. You may not see it directly, but you are there to be there for the children on the field and off the field when they come to you for advice. There was a lot of listening, a lot of heartache during my time as a youth sports coach that I never thought I would have to deal with. The people on the team did an amazing job of knowing their resources, knowing how to love on a kid, And for that hour at practice or the hour of that game, taking away their pain and having fun. That is the most important lesson I learned during my interprofessional experience, and I will always take it with me. So thank you, Liberty University, for giving us this opportunity, and I hope everyone learned a little bit about their public health concepts today. Sports is not just about obesity, nutrition, and injury prevention, but mental health as well.